Your time has come. There's no way out of this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just witnessed the beginning of the end for Troy Weaver, his time in Detroit, because of this incident last night and overall what we've been seeing from the Detroit Pistons recently. It's not been good. So if you haven't seen it, Troy Weaver went at a fan last night, threatened him twice, told him he didn't care that he bought tickets to the game. Now this isn't anything new. Troy Weaver does sit with the fans in the stands, so this is nothing new. But this guy was like, yo, you're not doing very good at your job. He told him he sucks at doing his job, and that triggered Troy Weaver to threaten the guy, and that's just unhinged. All right, that is completely unhinged. You can't threaten that guy because he said you were doing bad at your job. Like, I understand, like, if he said something racist maybe, but that's not the case here. It looks like the guy was just heckling him, and Troy Weaver got in his feelings and threatened the guy multiple times, as you're gonna see in this video. But yeah, that just can't happen. So the Pistons are getting annihilated, and this was just a blow up, a total and complete blow up. This Dallas Mavericks team. Now, I wasn't mad that we lost to the Dallas Mavericks because if you guys recall, I just recently made a video about how I feel like the Dallas Mavericks are the championship favorites this season. So I wasn't surprised that we lost. However, Troy Weaver thought things were turning around because of the Nets victory, which is, it's pretty easy to beat the Nets. One, they're being coached by Kevin Ollie, who Troy Weaver won it, and Kevin Ollie is doing a terrible job. They just lost to the Hornets, and I think they lost to the Wizards too, but they've been losing to pretty terrible teams. So once the Pistons beat the Nets, like, I wasn't like cheering, tears of joy, hey, we're turning things around, because the Nets are just trending downward. They've been terrible this season. Because they're just mid, and now with their new coach, they're just awful. Jack Vaughn got ran up out of there. Didn't make any sense. But that was Troy Weaver's guy. Troy Weaver wanted Kevin Ollie, and he's not doing too hot. So what happened last night? We lose to the Dallas Mavericks. Duren got ejected. He was frustrated, gets ejected. Troy Weaver's favorite prospect on the team, Jaden Ivey, he had a terrible game shooting the basketball, and he had 6 turnovers. That was terrible. What else? We were close in the first half. In the second half, we got annihilated, and what I'm told, usually Troy Weaver leaves in the second half of the game to go either sit someplace else instead of with the fans, but he decided to stay in that seat in the second half, and then this fan came up while they were getting annihilated. He was like, yo, we're a terrible basketball team. But at the end of the day, Troy Weaver, you just can't threaten a guy for calling you out for doing a poor job as the GM, because honestly, Troy Weaver has done a terrible job at being the Pistons GM since the Saddiq Bey trade. He hasn't really cooked at all. And even these most recent moves where you got Quentin Grimes and Fontecchio is fine, but as we see, he's not like someone who's going to move the needle. Like, Jimmy Butler looked at him like he was barbecue chicken last game when we played the Heat.
Listen, big fella, when you get the ball in the post, you have to go, what's that? Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert, you got to go up strong.
And then Quentin Grimes is just, he's an injury-prone player, so it's not ideal. We're not looking good. Still, And then, of course, Troy Weaver, he hired his best friend at Syracuse, which caused the Pistons a lawsuit. So Troy Weaver has failed on both sides of the equation. He's failing with the product that's on the floor, and he's failing in the front office because the Pistons have to deal with a lawsuit because of him. So that is pretty awful. I'm surprised he hasn't been fired yet, if we're being frank. But Tom Gores has a huge problem on his hand. You got a coach who doesn't really want to be here. You got Troy Weaver, who's running the front office pretty terribly, and the Pistons on the floor are getting annihilated. Cade Cunningham is really the only positive thing that is happening with this group. Sar Thompson recently has been better. We'll get to that later, but outside of that, like, there's nothing that's been worth cheering about with this basketball team. And then Troy Weaver blowing up at a fan, bro. Like, this guy went and watched this team get annihilated. We've won 10 games. Like, we've won 10 games. This team lost 28 games in a row. Like, it's not working. We'll get to that next video. But right as of right now, if you guys think Troy Weaver crossed the line, please smash that like button. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.